Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another project for you, and this time it's to introduce two things. One is a new stamp set with an accompanying punch, which is the Above the Clouds bundle, and the other one is to show you our fabulous new in colours for 2019-2021. So I have got all of them showcased on here. You can see in the background here we have Seaside, no we don't, we have Purple Posy, that's that card here. This blue is lovely Seaside Spray. We have Terracotta Tile, this kind of I'm going to say coppery colour. It's not coppery colour, it's sort of kind of going towards Calypso Coral. It is terracotta. We have Pretty Peacock, this beautiful teal, and then we have Rococo Rose, a beautiful soft pink, and then I've just got a bit of early espresso on there with some birds. So that's the card we're making. It's very much all about the stamps, so let's get on with it. So you are going to start with a card base, which is 29 centimetres by 10.5, and I've scored that at 14.5 centimetres. So you can just pop that to one side, ready for us to do a bit of stamping in a moment. I have then cut a layer of the Purple Posy, which is here, and that is 10 by 14 centimetres. And then we have our layer for the front, which is 9.5 by 13.5. So to start off with the card, we actually need some scrap white to do our stamping and punching from. So all I'm going to do is grab a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and then we're going to do some stamping along the edge to get those lovely balloons. So to get this 3D effect, all I've done is stamped and punched 3 balloons and put them together by scoring them in half. So I'm going to do that first, and I'm going to use my lovely Rococo Rose, which is a beautiful pink, to do the stamping. So I'm starting by stamping the outline of the balloon, which is here, and I'm stamping that in full strength. So that means I'm going to the ink pad, so tap tap tap, and then straight down onto the can't get my words out, straight down onto the card. Now next I'm going to use a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to do some stamping off. So if I stamped it straight on top, you wouldn't see the contrast quite so much. So tap tap tap. I'm obviously stamping down onto a pad of paper, but you might want to use your stamping pierce mat so you can get the lovely texture. So if I pop that in there, I'm going to stamp off once, and then I'm going to put my solid image over the top, and you can see that fills the balloon beautifully. So again, tap tap tap, stamp off once, making sure I'm trying to make sure I'm lined up, and down again, tap tap tap. I'm going off the edge of the, that's why, off the edge of the stamping pierce mat. There we go. And so those are our 3 balloons, and you'll see that I've also done a balloon in the Pretty Peacock colour. So here comes Pretty Peacock, and I'm just stamping that one once, so tap 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 once with our outline. Then I'm using the little flags, and again just stamp that off before popping those. And then I'm going to do my solid colour, so obviously I'm just going to clean off my image, my balloon image, and get some good coverage on there. I'm going to stamp off not once but twice, and then I'm going to fill my balloon, and that means that my flags will stand out as well. So now I'm going to come in and punch those, and you'll see that on the punch we've got a little flag and we've got the little basket as well. So at this point I'm just going to do my balloons, And you'll see I've just left enough gap so that I don't have to do and next one, enough gap so that I'm not going into the next balloon. So 1, 2, 3, and the last one. Now, if I'd been clever, I could have stamped my little baskets at the same time, but it's, to be honest with you, it's quite easy to just cut a little strip afterwards to do those baskets. So all I'm doing is with my offcut, cutting a little strip there, and I'm going to use just a bit of early espresso, which I do like instead of black. I think it's a really good colour. So I'm going to do the basket in full strength twice. So, and then the infill I'm going to stamp off really badly. Okay. Pop that away, we'll need that again in a moment. And then I'm just going to slide that bit of card in, line up my little basket, punch that to one side, and my second one, a little bit of card. This is one where I'd usually use my post-it note if I had thought about it. Here we go. Okay, so 2 little baskets off to one side. So now what I'm going to do is stamp the background images. So I'm going to use my balloons, and because these are photopolymer, the great thing is that they are so easy to line up. I would recommend that you sort of stand over them or lean over them to get a really good image. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp some of my with a piece of scrap paper so that I don't stumble over my stamping pierce mat, although that does happen fairly frequently. So I'm just going to pop those balloons, not at all square. So these are my terracotta balloons in the distance. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my infill. Again, stamping off, so just stamp off with those. So I'll probably go and put a great big thumbprint all over something. Okay. Then in with my clouds, so my terracotta tile can go away. So this is a great one if you've treated yourself to some new ink colours. This is a lovely way of starting to use them. So I'm just filling in those gaps with these pretty clouds. And I know I'm going to obviously have some covered up by the other images, but if you sort of create a nice background to start off with, then it doesn't matter where where the rest goes. I have now lost I have misplaced, I have put down, there we go, my little birds. Okay. Great thing about these, they can pretty much go anywhere. Early espresso away before I stick my elbow into it. So that's our basic card background, and now what we're going to do is create our little 3D balloons. Now the easiest way I found to do this was to line this up using my grid paper. So all I did was I just took my ruler, I popped it just down to one side and took my embossing tool down the middle. So I'm just lining it up with those sort of centimetres, so broadly in the middle, pop my ruler in, and I'm putting it to one side of the line because obviously if I put it on the line it wouldn't be in the middle. So all I'm going to do now is just fold those on the crease, as always folding away from our score line to start off before we fold it back up. And these are so easy to do, but I would recommend scoring first rather than just folding. You get a nicer effect. Then choose which balloon you might find you've got one which is stamped better, which is going to be your central balloon, and just pop that in the middle and attach these other two balloons either side, and just make sure they line up nicely, keeping those at the back nice and flat. So that will give us our little 3D effect balloon. So we're just going to, oh no we're not, first thing we should have done is actually popped our other balloon on. So I'm going to pop this in here now. So I'm just putting a bit of wet glue on the back there, popping my balloon in, then I can put my 3D balloon up here. And then with my baskets, a little bit of glue. Probably should use my take your pick tool on that one. And actually on this one I have, because the balloon itself is kind of 3D, and I found it didn't quite look right with the basket flat. Well, I didn't think it did. So, and it's because that front bit's lifted up. So I just put just a tiny bit of a dimensional, like half a mini dimensional on there, and popped the little basket on. So all that is left to do now is to add this to our layer of card, and I'm using wet glue because I don't want to use a tape runner, a snail, on the back of the card when it's got some dimension on it, because you end up with creases and things. So that's when I will often use wet glue. And again, I didn't want to layer it up first because I also wanted to get my stamping right. So just layer that on, and that just gives you a nice little border. Hopefully, if I can get it on straight. There we go. And then the same. That's not good. That's my fine tip glue. It's not good for. It's great for a little detail, but here we go. Get my ordinary Tombow dispenser out. There we go. And add that to the front of my card, making sure I'm putting it up the right way. That wouldn't be the first time. And then all that's left is I'm actually going to just decorate the inside. So I'm going to grab my clouds, which are just here. Grab my seaside spray, and I'm going to put some clouds just there, and I'm going to come in with my balloon, which I used in Pretty Peacock last. If you're ever in doubt, make sure you clean your stamp first. You certainly don't want to be contaminating it. So again with this, I'm just going to stamp off, and I'm just going to stamp that on my stamping pierce mat, just off to the right. And I'm going to grab my solid, and I'm going then stamp off twice for this. And there you have, above the clouds, pretty 3D balloon ready to go in, and that will fold flat to go in your envelope. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon, and don't forget, if you'd like to purchase any of these products, pop along to my blog Heidi Smith at flutterbyheidi.co.uk and follow the links, or pop to my shop heidismith.stampinup.net, follow the links that say shop there, and that'll take you to shop with me. Be delighted if you chose me as demonstrator, so I can then send you some goodies. Thanks for watching. Bye now.